Mortgage rates are up, purchase applications are down. I'll explain all the volatility next. We're coming off one of the most volatile weeks in the housing market and probably the most volatile 60 days of the housing market that I've seen in 2 decades. So let me break down everything that's happening and then what that means if you're a seller or a buyer. So we've seen mortgage rates spike back up. We're getting quoted anywhere from 6 5/8 up to 6.875, so 6 7/8 depending on your lender, credit, down payment. Mortgage rates are up, and that caused an 18% decline just last week alone in the number of purchase applications. The 10-year yield has not let up, and rates have jumped back up from what were a 5 handle, 5.875, 5.99 earlier in the year in January. The housing market almost gave everyone a head fake of where rates are going, and that's coming off the Federal Reserve meeting minutes where they said specifically in the notes, this was very aggressive, that there is the potential for decreases in commercial and residential real estate assets. That's exactly what they said in the meeting. So we have all these things happening right now, and there's a lot of uncertainty because typically when rates go up, inventory goes up. Last week alone nationally, we saw 6,801 less properties on the market than the week prior. So we're seeing another inventory decline with new homes coming to the market, although we are up year over year. So what does all this mean? There's a lot of noise in the marketplace. There's a lot of things happening. And normally when rates go up, like I said, inventory goes up. Inventories come down. So it's creating some confusion for consumers. So here's what I'm clear on. Rates will absolutely be lower later in the year. There is no doubt in my mind. The Federal Reserve is predicted to raise rates again by 25 to 50 basis points at the next meeting. So this rate policy coming out of the federal government is not going to let up. I am clear we'll see rates come down for sure later in the year. That's one prediction I'm very comfortable making based on all the research. So because of this, because we're seeing rates again jump up, and what the Fed is worried about is asset declines in residential and commercial real estate. If I'm a seller right now, the absolute best time for you to get your home on the market is immediately. I would not be waiting around for April, May, June when we see more inventory come to the market, because the higher rates have caused some buyers to pull back. It's caused some hesitation in the marketplace. I am very clear the sellers that want to capitalize on multiple offers, which are still happening as of this weekend, of waive contingencies and of over asking price bids should be getting their home on the market now in no uncertain terms, because inventory is still your friend as a seller. If I'm a buyer, I'm watching the market right now. I'm looking for that right opportunity that could be a fit for my household, or maybe there's an opportunity for me to get into something where I know I'm going to be for the next 18, 20 years. There may be a benefit for some buyers to let things settle down a little bit. And this is a time where if I'm a home buyer or I'm a home seller, I'm meeting with people to see what they know about the market. If your agent cannot explain what the 10-year yield means, or what's happening with inventory, or what the expectations are at the next Fed meeting, you need a new agent. Meet with people, get the data, and make sure they're telling you what's actually happening. Because a lot of realtors will say things like, it's always a great time to buy or sell. That's simply not true, and that's going to lose credibility for that person. So I'd be watching out for those kind of agents that are yesing you to death or painting a rose-colored picture, because there's some real challenges in the market right now. Sellers, accelerate your timeline. That's my big message this week. And if you need to understand why, you know where to get in touch.